This is Jansen. It is cheers as always. First off, it's a little change of scenery, I know that, but as of right now, it's hot as all get up in Southern California, and to alleviate that, we're coming out here. It's what we're doing, and it feels a little bit better. We're in the midst of some lush greenery. We are feeling one with nature, and it is feeling good. We're getting the midweek grind started just how we needed to, and I'm going to start this episode off with something I haven't done in a while. That's my hotline number. My hotline number in case you have any situations you might be going through in life, things you might be hearing about that you might want my feedback on. Reach out. The number is 858-621-3877. Once again, my hotline number, 858-621-3877. And just because I think I cut myself off, 858-621-3877. We're out here and we're using chasers. What does that say about me? I don't know too much, but we're still here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Today, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it last week, and that's why I didn't post an episode, but we're back at it. Because, one thing I told myself I would do this. And no matter what, I'm going to get up here, I'm going to do this. If it's not every week, it's going to be every other week. So I'm going to be here. See me here. I'm going to start off with a couple of notes I took. I've been working at this moving job, and one thing I've noticed is you could tell it sounds condescending, but you could tell the difference in people's intellectual levels just depending on what type of conversation you have with them. So a lot of these people I'm working with, they might not be the most intellectually gifted. They could work hard, but I'll be having conversations with them along the lines of, oh, what's your favorite number? 5, 6, 7, or 8. Because those are the only numbers they could really grasp. Anything lower or anything higher, it's a little hard for them. So they have to stick to those 4 numbers for what your favorite is. And I was talking about, and this guy named Josh, he was telling me, he says he can't hear, see, or have someone speak the number 5 to him. Otherwise, all he could think of is 5-inch penises. And that made me stop. That stunned me in my tracks. I did not know what to think of that at first, but that's the case. That's what he said, and it amazed me. No matter what, it amazed me. And so, getting back to the matter at hand, the heat makes some people do crazy things. At least in Southern California, because it is piping over here. We're cooking with gas, officially cooking with gas on the burner. And one thing I know about the heat is more people tend to do drugs in it, which seems a little counterproductive to me. But one thing I've noticed with a lot of people is, say it reaches past 98 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're like, oh, let's do a little of that cocaine. Let's do a little of cocaine. Let's do a little bit of it. And what's that cocaine going to do? It's going to raise your body temp by at least 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So why are you doing cocaine out in the 98 degree weather? I don't know. But it might be why Chance the Rapper said, say bye to your friends because they die in the summer. Something along those lines. That's not verbatim, but that's what I remember from it. And so what that makes me think is a lot more people they indulge in drug-related activities in the summer. And that's just not the healthiest pastime, no matter what. And that leads me to something I want to get to later on in this whole thing. One thing we have to get used to is people are meant to come and go. No matter how good of a friend you are with someone, you have to realize it's either going to be you or them that's out of here in this life beforehand. And I will tell you guys one thing right now. It's hard. It's a process. It's a hard process to be able to sit down and say, this person is not in my life anymore. This person is completely gone. I will not be able to hug them. I will not be able to talk to them one more time. And I need to be able to use all of the knowledge they've imparted on me in previous times in order to help me get through and to learn something that they haven't. And so it's tough, but we have to realize that people come and go no matter what. And the most important thing is, are we there to learn from the lessons they impart on us? If we aren't, what's the point? It almost feels like, as much as they have lived their own life, a lot of it seems like it's in vain if we can't take anything from that. We learn from history. We learn from the past. And if we don't know history, we're doomed to make the same mistakes. But as always, let's get to it, because I'm done with being pessimistic for right now. This is Cheers and I'm Chance. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. So, guys, what's up, guys? All right, guys, I'm Chance. Everyone has a podcast, so guess it's my fucking turn. I got 3 fully loaded cabooses. Cheers. Let's get this bitch rolling. But yeah, $200,000 a year. Right? We know where he's coming from. Go to the beach. Big booty Latina. Illustrating what's wrong in our society. Authentic, handmade, original Chance Split. I want humanity to stay on Earth. This is Cheers. So I don't know what the problem is, but I've been trying to date recently. I've been trying to get myself out into the market, throw myself out into the fishy pool, because it's hard out here for play in San Diego. Y'all know that already. Y'all know that. And I've been trying to date. So I'll be sliding into the DMs like some fat kid without a shirt at the swimming pool. I'll be sliding in like this. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Chance. Coming off real casual, you know? Make it seem like this doesn't matter to me. Although all of my expectations and my hopes for that day are riding on this one interaction. That might be my own fault, but I approach like, oh, this does not matter. All right, how you doing? How you doing? I'm Chance. How you doing? And so usually I could get from point A to point B, but the real problem is point B to point C or D. Because I say, how you doing? I'm Chance. Let me get your number. I get the number. I can seal the deal in most parts. And then we go from the number to, oh, you want to take me out to eat? What do you want to eat? And in the last week, I was dealing with this girl. And I was DMing her, and she says, oh, so you want to take me out for lunch? First off, is this going to be a date or more of a hangout? First off, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Not that every female's a bitch, but the female gender, bitches are bitches, women are women, and everyone along the same line. Same with the men. There are men that are bitches in the male gender, and I'll call them a bitch. There are whores that are men in the male gender, and I'll call them a whore. You don't have to be a specific gender to be a whore or a bitch, you know? And so that's why I don't want you guys to get thrown off by that. But this girl, she asks me, what do you plan on doing with me? Like, do you want to take me out for a date or for lunch? And I say, well, I don't know you too well, so I'm planning on taking you out on a date. But if you want to call it a lunch, we could do whatever you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I don't care about pronouns, the names. I don't care. You can call it whatever you want, because I know my goal in the end, and that is to give you the best time you've had in the world. I want to treat you. I want to take you out, show you a night on the town, you know? That's just what I want to do. That's my goal. And so when someone comes up to me and says, is this a date or a hangout? First off, you use the words hang out with me? I think I'm hanging out with the guys that used to be on my wrestling team. And what did we do there? We only sweat and fucking rubbed our junk across each other's face. So no, I'm not entirely trying to hang out with you. I'm trying to take you out on a date. I'm trying to take you out on an intimate date where I get to know you. I know all of your outlines. I know who you are as a person. That might not happen on the first date, but that's what I'm trying to get to. That is what I'm trying to get to. And you guys already see I'm getting worked up over this one topic, so I'm going to take a drink. Chill out. And going off that same topic, let me add a little pretense to all of this. Because I realized I'm a guy that likes pretense. I like some context to a situation. And my pretense for this situation is I'd like to think I'm not transphobic. But for a man, it is not cool when you start to get sensual with the woman. Say you meet a woman on Tinder, you meet a woman on Bumble, and you go back to her place or you take her back to yours and you break out the tequila, you break out the vodka, the Tito's, and you say, hey, you want to start getting a nightcap? And what is that code for? I want to get a little sensual. I want to get a little sexual. That's what men or mostly women are trying to do when they bust out the nightcap. And I'm telling you, if you were expecting it to get sensual with someone, you don't expect to have a penis and they bust out a penis, that's not cool. When they whip out that pork lasagna, I don't know what to think. I've never been comfortable in a situation with an exposed penis, even singular, especially mine. So what makes you think if you get me into a situation where I do not expect a penis and there's an exposed penis there, why would I be comfortable? If I am in a sexual situation, I'm already a little precarious about pulling out my penis. How do you think I'm going to feel if there's another dick in the equation that I was not expecting? I'm going to be uncomfortable. That's it, just what it is. First off, if another guy whips out his dick that I don't expect as a male, that is provocation for me to defend myself. AKA assault. People call that transphobic, but women, people that aren't in these situations, don't realize that a straight man, when they're trying to get down and sensual, when they're getting hot and bothered with a lady like, what's up, baby? And we assume we're with a woman and they whip out a penis, you can't just say, oh, you have a penis. You can't just say that. You can't just walk out the front door and say, oh, you have a penis. I'm good. Thanks, though. It's like fight or flight. Either you ball up into a shell, you're done. You're defending yourself, or you get ready to swing. And it's not the fact that I have a problem with people with penises because I have a penis myself, but it's the fact that I have a problem with someone that almost finesses me into me thinking that they have a vagina, but they have a penis. I feel finessed. I feel swindled. You can't do that. And I'm not saying you need a completely different Tinder for the girls with penises, but I'm just saying, let me know. Let me know. Because at the end of the day, I feel like anyone that is confident about their sexuality, they get pulled into a situation where someone they expect is a woman pulls out their own penis, and they're like, what's the matter? You're not comfortable with other penises? It's like, no. I'm just not trying to get intimate with other penises. That's literally it. And that's all I want to talk about that. It's tough. I'll not lie to you. One of my friends got in this situation lately, and the way I thought about it is it's territorial. How would the alpha male lion feel if some bald-headed lion mistress thought he was a nice piece of ass and snuck up on him in the middle of the night, started licking his ear, and then out of nowhere, this alpha male lion feels a phallus sticking in his anal cavity? How will the alpha male lion react? In the wild, that means that you're someone's bitch. But in society, I'm supposed to think that's flattering? No. If an alpha male lion thinks you're making him his bitch if you're sticking his penis up his ass, I'm gonna think the same thing. I'm not calling myself an alpha male lion. I'm just not okay with some other guy sticking their penis up my ass. That's it. I'm getting off the topic now, and that's it. And yeah, that's it. What's the next note I wrote down? one thing I wanted to tell you guys, it leads into another thing. Things usually always get better. I remember a couple times in my life where I've looked at things and I asked, how could things get any better for me? I've lived with my grandparents and I was in a situation where maybe I didn't want to go back to middle school. And I said, I'm going to be in trouble with the teacher. I wish I just skipped 5 years. And guess what? I'm 10 years down the line. And things don't get better. You just learn how to deal with things a little better, you know? And one of the things that makes me think about this is when I lost my virginity. It was the summer after 8th grade year. And so I thought I was the cock of the walk the entire middle school, but those entire 3 years I was going for this one specific girl. Why is that? Because I believed in true love. Because I actually thought that one person was meant for one other person, but I didn't realize that you meet, somewhat of close to 50,000 other people within your lifespan. And you don't know where it's going to go. But one of the times where I thought, how is this going to get any better was the summer of after my 8th grade year. I lost my virginity. And I'm walking. So my entire middle school career, I'm in love with this girl. I'm just going to say her name. Her name's Kim. And I'm in love with this girl. I don't know why, but I'm a little fat. And so it might be a type of league thing, but I am head over heels in love with this girl. And it takes me the whole lot of 3 years in order for me to lose a little weight, to get my confidence together and really talk to her. And so we go into summer of 8th grade year and we're walking to the park, you know, because at this point we're officially girlfriend and boyfriend. I am stoked. World cannot be any better. She is wearing sundresses to go out. I cannot be any more excited. What's better than a woman in a sundress? Wow. Nothing's better than a woman in a sundress. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I could be in a better situation right now. Like, I'm getting laid. The woman I like is into me and it's done, you know? And it's tough because one day this is the day I knew I was going to get laid. I was a virgin before then. And I thought that losing your virginity was just invalid, you know, it was unreasonable. The fact that a woman would ever want to get with a man, because me looking at other men, we're gross, you know, we got this big flesh stick sticking out of our fucking hips that we want to stick into other people. That's not sanitary whatsoever. And so me and this woman, or female girl at this time, we're in 7th grade, 8th grade going into 9th actually, and we're walking down to this park. And I'm thinking things that a normal 8th grader would be thinking. It's like, oh, how does this woman's vagina smell? You know how, like, I don't know. At this point, I'm not the most sanitary person, so I'm thinking, like, what does this smell like? And I convinced myself that this woman's private parts, her genitalia, smells like Sprite. Has that lemon lime scent. And so I go in and, excuse me, even before I get my phallus a little moist, I stick my muzzle in and I start going in. Because I'm a hungry kid. I'm a little fat, you know? So I just want that meal. My blood cholesterol is dropping a little below average, so I say, I want that fresh meal. And I stick my face in. It does not smell like Sprite. Trust me, it does not smell like Sprite. Any of you youngins that have not experienced that, don't trick yourself. It's not fresh down there. It's musty. It is musty. And I came out of there and I'm like, woo, what is going on here? I did not know. And that's what I'm saying to you guys. Like, when you think it can't get any better, better? It can't get better. Trust me. It can get better. And it might not have happened for me yet, but eventually it's going to come around. And that's my story for today. But what I wanted to end this off with is, this is a little harder for me to say, but honestly, one of my friends died in the past week. And it's one of those guys that you would never expect to pass, especially the way he did. And it just leaves you sitting there like, oh, you are mortal. This lifetime is finite. And I don't want to be pessimistic about it. I knew him well. I knew who he was. He impacted my life heavily. But what I want to tell you guys all is, if someone leaves, just know wherever they're looking down at you from, they expect you to do better than they did. And if you don't even try, you're failing them. So just try. Try for everyone that matters to you, you know? That's really what it comes down to. And that's it for me, guys. That covers all my notes. I went on a little rant. Sorry about that, but as always, this is Chance. I'm Chance. This is Cheers. And let me give it to you one more time just so it covers another 15 seconds, you know. One more time. My hotline is 858-621-3877. Give me a call if you guys want to talk to me. Let me know. If you have a situation, if you have a question, I'm here. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully we could get back into the room, back into the regular scenery. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.